Alright, so today I'm going to go through the basics of logging into ClassPak and creating a quiz. So first, this is the login screen. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to log in. It's your last name, first initial, and the number 11, and then your password is TNTP0825. I'm going to go down to Quiz Builder right here. And then down below here under important messages it says that I have 9 shared tests, so I'm going to start there. And for today I'm going to add Spanish level 3 because I've already added the other one. So I can go here, I can preview everything, I can see the major topics for the question levels, and then also what the function and the classification is. And then down below I can click to add to my tests. So I'm going to add this to my tests. And then you'll see down below it says assign classes to tests. So if you have classes already developed, then you can add the test to that class. I have this one class here, so I can add this to here. Now, if I want to add classes though, in addition to this, I can go to classes and students up here at the top, and then you go to add class. And so let's say I have Spanish section 1, and I'll add my new class. So it says my class has been added successfully. So I want to manage my classes. So right now I have no students assigned to this. So I'm going to click add students. And then down here below I can add my students. So I'll just add myself. Oops. And then the student ID, you can create that. So it's up to you. I would suggest doing first initial, last name, or something like that to make it really easy. And then down below you select the login type. So this is how you want the student to log in when they log into the student section. So if I want my students to just log in using their first name, I can click the first name. I'm going to use student ID because I know that my students, some of them have the same last name or same first name, so this will just make it a more unique student ID. And then I'm going to hit add student. Alright, so you can just continue to add students. You can also import students. So you can convert, and it gives you the instructions here using a Microsoft Excel based list and filling that in down here. And then you just write in what the column is. So check the columns that you're using. What is it that you want to use? So that's pretty simple if you want to add more than one student at one time to a class. It'll make it a little bit faster. Oops. Alright, so if I go to manage tests, I have this test right here, and I can edit assign classes. So this is how you actually assign the class to take the test. So these classes are already assigned to the test. If I also want to assign Spanish section 1, I can do that just by hit add selected classes. Okay, so now my student should be able to access this test. In order for my students to access this test, I need to know the test code. So this is the test code right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that because that's something I'm going to need. And then to log in, your students would go to the Quiz Builder student login. And this is at quizpak.net. You can see right there. This is the web address. I'm going to put my test code here and then my student login ID. So for example, I gave a student this login and click here to log in, and then the student is able to take the test online. So that's pretty simple, and that's how your students will log in. Going back to things from the teacher side, if we want to grade items, we will go here, and this allows us to grade items, and we can also view results. So I can see per student report or topic breakdown, which will show us how the student did. So we can look at results for reading. And on this one, I haven't done anything yet, so there's nothing to look at. And then up here you can change the Spanish section, so you have two different classes you can use that. So go to tests. This is the one that I have actually taken. If I go to per student report, I can see how just this one student did, which is me. So you can see the particular topics that students did well on or struggled in. Clearly, I got 100% there, so that's good. You can also do it by topic breakdown. So we can look and see the class average, so you can see how your class did, and this becomes more beneficial for you to see what it is that you need to focus on in reteaching your students. So if, for example, they've already really studied calendar and time, and you see your class averages is a little bit lower, then you'll know that's something you want to reteach. So these are pretty much the basics of ClassPak and how to use the diagnostic. Again, we'll be talking a little bit more about how to do listening on here, but these are just the big ticket items. So I'm just going to very quickly review. To add your classes and students, you go to classes and students up here. You can add a class. You can create a class, whatever you want that to be. So Spanish section, I'll just create another one. And then you can also then add students to the class. So if I want to manage my classes or import students, I can do that. The explanation on how to manage an Excel sheet and input that is right here. So you just follow these instructions. You can import multiple students, which will make that a lot faster. And then to assign tests, we go back up here to our toolbar, manage tests, and then you want to choose which tests, and you want to edit assign classes, and then you can add tests to different sections. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Remember that ultimately it's important that you know the test code so that you are able to have your students use this test. Here's the level 3 one. So you can change it to the appropriate level. Okay. If you have any questions, just give me an email at clee@friendshipschools.org or christinajanelee@gmail.com.